Unbelievable. I mean, this is unbelievable. Just when you thought it was impossible for the mainstream media to find another way to lose credibility. Just when you thought the mainstream media had finally run out of excuses for Johnny B. Biden. I guess it should come as no surprise that the Yentas on The View, they are leading the charge, and they found a new recipe for the turd taco. They tried to disguise it. They tried to make it more appealing. The Radiant Sun host, and she rested her arms last Thursday night so she could utilize the elbow grease Friday morning to apply a triple coat of polish to the steaming turd. Problem is, there's not enough polish. There's not enough Febreze to mask the pungent stench coming from that debate performance of Johnny B. Biden. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let me ask you something. Those of you who watched the debate last Thursday night, well, wasn't really a debate. What we saw Thursday night, that was the moderators from the Cemetery News Network utilizing the woke shovel, while John Biden, he gently laid his political career to rest in the woke cemetery. Donald Trump, he didn't even need to show up. Trump did exactly what he needed to do. Shut the hell up and let John Biden bury himself. But those of you who witnessed the beginning of the end for John Biden last Thursday night, who would you blame for that performance? Who is at fault for John Biden being unprepared after he sequestered himself for an entire week to prepare for his burial? Who is at fault for John Biden humiliating himself on international television? Perhaps some of you guys would blame pretend Dr. Jill Biden. Johnny is so out of touch with reality, he thinks that he is married to an actual doctor. Maybe some of you guys would blame pretend Dr. Jill for not using her medical education at Woke U to determine that her husband was incapable of performing at the debate. Hell, Johnny B. Biden, he is incapable of damn near everything. Walking, riding the tricycle. When he tries to lick the ice cream, it falls off the cone. This dude can't do anything right. I have seen some in the media like Stephen A. Smith and Chris Cuomo. Hey, it's me, Chrissy C. Chris Cuomo, he appeared with Stephen A. on YouTube last Friday, where they managed to massage each other's egos by telling each other how great they are. Stephen A. claimed that Chris Cuomo has a highly successful show on News Nation. The most disgusting part of the interview was when Chris Cuomo sent Stephen A. Smith his woke mating call by caressing the cigar. But anyway, Stevie and Chrissy, they blame Johnny's debate performance or lack thereof on the Democratic Party. All kidding aside, I happen to agree with them. Matter of fact, I think it's a combination of both. I think you can blame pretend Dr. Jill for pressuring her husband to run for a second term, and I think you can blame the Democratic Party for not having a suitable replacement. I mean, seriously, who do they have that is capable of replacing Joe Biden? Well, KC, what about Gavin Newsom? Gabby? You think Gabby can stand up to the Trumper? The same Gabby that just got humiliated by Adam Carolla? The same Gabby Newsom that identifies as the governor of the People's Republic of California? That dude? Well, I guess Gavin Newsom would have leverage if he debated Trump on border control. Gavin Newsom, he has fixed the immigration problems in California. He has made life so miserable in the People's Republic of California that people are moving to Mexico. Hell, the Mexican government, they might be building a wall to keep Californians from invading their country. They can't replace John Biden with Cam Harris. She's a disaster. Truth is, there is plenty of blame to go around when it comes to the debate performance of John Biden. But according to the Yentas on The View, there is a logical explanation for his lack of performance. There is one entity to be blamed for John Biden being a huge embarrassing failure. According to the Yentas, it is CNN's fault that John Biden humiliated himself. Now, you're probably wondering, how in the hell can they blame CNN? For the first time ever, CNN was fair and balanced. Yeah, I thought Jake the Bongo Tapper and Dana Bash, I thought they were excellent Thursday night. They were fair to Donald Trump. They were incredibly fair to the aging fossil. But according to Big Red Joy Behar, CNN, they must have done something to throw Biden off during the debate. Big Red insinuated that CNN was responsible for making Johnny B. Biden uncomfortable. How? What did CNN do to throw Johnny off his game? Well, our bundle of joy never explains. She doesn't provide any evidence to back up her baseless claim. She just says it and expects you to believe it. Never mind the fact that John Biden set the rules for this debate. Never mind the fact that John Biden specifically chose CNN to moderate this debate. According to Big Red, something must have happened because there is absolutely no way this could really be our fearless leader. Watch for yourself.
There was something about the debate that threw him into this state that he was in. President Biden made an appearance at a watch party a little while after the debate, and he scarcely resembled the guy from earlier in the evening. This is really unbelievable. Watch.
Look, folks, what's going to happen over the next couple of days is they're going to be out there fact-checking all the things he said. I can't think of one thing he said that was true.
So suddenly, no colds. Suddenly he was 63. What happened?
First off, I'm sure John Biden couldn't think of a single thing that Donald Trump said that was true. Seconds after the debate ended, I highly doubt that Johnny B. Biden could remember one thing that Donald Trump said. But towards the end of the clip, Joy Behar asked, "What happened? How could our fearless leader be a disaster during the debate, but almost appear to be lucid afterwards?" I'll tell you what happened, Joy. John Biden could not handle the pressure. Once the debate was over and he was speaking to his pretend friends in the mainstream media, he was in his comfort zone. In that setting, he knew he could say anything and get away with it. But when he was standing face to chest with the Trumper and the entire world was watching, he knew he couldn't get away with his usual bullshit. He knew the pressure was on. For years, the media has claimed that John Biden is different behind closed doors compared to what we see in public, but I ain't buying it, and I don't think you are either. What we saw Thursday night, that was the real John Biden. Now, a lot of people in the media are pressuring John Biden to step aside. Many in the media are pressuring John Biden to step down to allow some other doofus to compete against the Trumper. For most people, this is understandable. Not for Son Hostin, though. No! According to Son Hostin, John Biden, he shouldn't be stepping down. The only candidate that should be forced to step aside is Donald Trump. Friday morning on The View, the symptoms of stage 4 OMB, Orange Man Bad, they completely took over Son Hostin. The Radiant Sun, she was demanding that Trump step aside while charging him with the usual violations of the woke commandments. According to Son Hostin, the Trumper, he should not be allowed to be president because he's guilty of mythical racism and mythical misogyny. Watch for yourself.
I think it's really ironic that the party that should be pressuring their candidate to step aside is the Republican Party. Their nominee is a convicted felon. He's facing hundreds of charges for criminal activity and has been proven to be a racist, a business fraud, liable for sexual abuse, an insurrectionist, and as Biden said, he has the morals of an alley cat. Republicans need to be holding him accountable. The majority of the party, which has been cowardly and feckless and complicit and enabling in allowing Trump's racism, bullying, his demagoguery, misogyny.
How in the hell is this show still on the air? Who watches this garbage? This past Friday morning, this was the perfect opportunity for the Yentas on The View to be honest. Now, I know honesty is difficult when you're infected with stage 4 OMB, but this was the perfect opportunity for these lovely ladies to be honest with their audience. I don't always agree with Stephen A. Smith, but at least he was honest. I don't always agree with Chris Cuomo, but at least he was honest about the debate. Instead of being honest with their viewers and explaining that the Democrats had completely screwed this up, instead of being honest and admitting that we chose the wrong candidate, our candidate can barely stand up for 90 minutes, much less engage in a battle of intellect for 90 seconds. Instead of doing that and being honest, Sun Hostin, she wants to blame the Trumper. The lovely ladies on The View, they're not the only ones blaming the Trumper for the embarrassing performance of Johnny B. Biden. The Orange Man, he's also being blamed by leaders of the Democratic Party. And in a surprising twist, CNN actually stood up to their propaganda. Earlier this morning, Senator Chris Coons, he was the guest on CNN this morning. Now, as you guys know, CNN, this is the preferred network for deacons at Woke United Methodist for a variety of reasons. Number one, they know no one watches CNN, so if anything embarrassing happens, no one is going to see it. And number two, deacons can normally go on CNN and say whatever the hell they want without resistance. Unfortunately for Senator Chris Coons, that was not the case this morning as he tried to blame Donald Trump for John Biden's debate performance. Watch for yourself.
What do you say to people who feel like they are being gaslit or somehow lied to or told that what they seem to see with their own eyes isn't actually the case?
So here's what we're seeing on the screen that you're showing right now. A president who is, frankly, thunderstruck by just how aggressively Donald Trump is lying about everything from January 6th to when there's a record deficit. It was under Trump, not under Biden. To the impact of his proposed
sir, he looked like that from the
policy.
moment he walked out on stage before anything ever came out of Trump's mouth.
Stacey, if I could finish my sentence, then I'll let you ask the next question.
Just think about how bad this is for John Biden. His performance was so bad, CNN refuses to defend it. His performance was so bad, CNN won't even polish the turd. It is abundantly clear at this point that the Democrats are out of options. They're out of choices. They have run out of excuses. People are not stupid. People damn sure aren't blind. You can blame Donald Trump all you want for the debate performance of John Biden, but no one is buying it. There is not enough hot sauce to make that turd taco appealing. In my opinion, and this is pure speculation on my part, but I think one of the reasons that Joe Biden was so appealing to Democrats 4 years ago, they knew he was easily controlled. They knew he would be easily manipulated. 4 years ago, they could keep him hidden in the Delaware dungeon and claim that Covey was the reason Johnny was hiding. Can't do that anymore. And honestly, I don't think they were anticipating this. I don't think they were planning on this. I believe they thought John Biden would step aside and let someone else take over. Clearly, that ain't happening. And now Democrats, they are stuck with a candidate that's easy to manipulate but impossible to sell to the public. And like Stephen A. and Chris Cuomo pointed out last Friday, there's no one in the bullpen to replace John Biden. But give me your thoughts on this. The View blames CNN for John Biden being a huge embarrassing failure. Others in the media, they are blaming the Trumper. Hell, even Mark Cuban is blaming Trump. Are they running out of excuses? With 4 months left until the election, can anything or anyone save the Democrats at this point? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. Appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, and I'll see you guys later.